Hey, this is Erika Awakening from tapsmarter.com, and we're back for day 20 of the 30-day World Peace Challenge. What we're going to address here is fear of awakening. This was kind of as I was just being quiet and still after the last video, and I realized, I was like, this issue with this person's not about money. He thinks it's about money, but it's not. Anyway, the agreement was honored, and that was, what else are you going to do, right? You have an agreement, it was honored. It's not about the money. And so this intuition suddenly came to me, it's not about the money. That's just a camouflage. And then I realized this in the other situation I'd mentioned, and obviously I'm not going to name any names. It's also not about what's being talked about. The arguments that go back and forth are camouflage for what's really going on, which is, I'm getting is fear of awakening. So we're going to address that in this video. Let's go on Kriyashon. Even though there's no hope for world peace, because people aren't even talking about the right issues. We have a bunch of superficial problems, like poverty and war, and people who aren't talking to each other over the stupidest things. Entire families divided because of tiny slights that happened years ago. People upset even though agreements were honored. There's something else going on here. And if we're not addressing the real issues, how are we ever going to have world peace? We already have more than enough food to feed the entire planet. Yet we're not doing it. Most of our problems are easy to solve. We don't want to solve them. We're all too scared of waking up. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though in these two situations, and the situation of the entire planet, we claim to be scared of our problems, of all these external threats, of getting diseases. But that's not really what we're scared of. We don't want the dream to be over. Solving these problems is as easy as waking up. Recognizing that none of it is real. We don't want our problems solved. In one of these situations, I questioned the person's marriage. I questioned the special relationship. Now my intuition is telling me that's the real issue. The money's just a cover-up. The ego loves the special relationship because it's a place where we can hide out from God. How dare I challenge the special relationship? I love and accept myself anyway. How dare I say it's not about the money? And yet I know it's not about the money. The agreement was honored. There's nothing to argue about. In this situation, he wants to undermine the whole system because it questioned the special relationship. People don't want to wake up. They want to keep pretending it's all real. There's too much fear of love, too much fear of God, too much fear of losing ego identity, too much fear of the dream being over, too much fear of losing all these illusions, too much fear of giving up the world, too much fear of joining in union. The special relationship is not union. It's separation. I must be an idolater. Otherwise, how could I have this idolatry reflected back to me from people I had very close relationships with? This fear of people turning on me when I speak the truth. This fear of being a healer, because so many of us are scared of healing. This part of me that doesn't want the dream to be over, doesn't want to return to God. Took vows with my ego that I would never release myself from this fear. All this fear. All these camouflages. Pretending the real issues are not the real issues. Covering everything up with fights over money, fights over romantic partners, fights over supposedly scarce resources, all this fear. I don't know how to release myself and these other people from the fear. I know when this problem started, it didn't start with money. It started with me questioning the special relationship. I'm not allowed to question it. Monogamy is the way of the world. I'm not allowed to question ownership. I'm not allowed to question scarcity. I'm not allowed to question sacrifice. I choose to be powerful anyway. Alright, let's go back on Karate Chop. Let me remember I am one with God. At one with all my brothers and myself. In everlasting holiness and peace. Today he speaks to you. His voice awaits your silence, for his word cannot be heard until your mind is quiet a while. And meaningless desires have been stilled. Await His word in quiet. There is peace within you to be called upon today to help make ready your most holy mind to hear the voice for its Creator speak. Oh my goodness. Good releases here though. Shows we're on the right track. Even if this video seems a little weird, I encourage you to tap anyway. Let's go on the top of the head. Simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world. All images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false. Or good or bad. Of every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world. Forget this course. And come with holy empty hands unto your God. Is it not He who knows the way to you? You need not know the way to Him. Your part is simply to allow all obstacles that you have interposed between the Son and God the Father to be quietly removed forever. God will do His part in joyful and immediate response. Ask and receive. But do not make demands, nor point the road to God by which He should appear to you. The way to reach Him is merely to let Him be. For in that way is your reality proclaimed as well. Okay, we're back on Karate Chop. And so today we do not choose the way in which we go to Him, but we do choose to let Him come. And with this choice we rest. In our quiet hearts and open minds, His love will blaze its pathway of itself. What has not been denied is surely there. If it be true and can be surely reached. God knows His Son and knows the way to Him. He does not need His Son to show Him how to find His way. Through every open door, His love shines outward from its home within and lightens up the world in innocence. Father, we do not know the way to you, but we have called And you have answered us. We will not interfere. Salvation's ways are not our own, for they belong to you. And it is unto you we look for them. Our hands are open to receive your gifts. We have no thoughts we think apart from you, and cherish no beliefs of what we are. Or who created us. Yours is the way we would find and follow. And we ask only that your will, which is our own as well, be done in us and in the world. Let it become part of heaven now. It is your thoughts alone that cause you pain. Nothing external to your mind can hurt or injure you in any way. There is no cause beyond yourself that can reach down and bring oppression. No one but yourself affects you. There is nothing in the world that has the power to make you ill or sad, or weak or frail. But it is you who have the power to dominate all things you see by merely recognizing what you are. As you perceive the harmlessness in them, they will accept your holy will as theirs. And what was seen as fearful now becomes a source of innocence and holiness. And so again we make the only choice that ever can be made. We choose between illusions and the truth, or pain and joy, or hell and heaven. Let our gratitude unto our teacher fill our hearts, as we are free to choose our joy instead of pain, our holiness in place of sin, the peace of God instead of conflict, and the light of heaven for the darkness of the world. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. I am still as God created me. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. Alright, deep breath. Whew, we got some more great releases there. If you're yawning, that's a great sign. Means it's working. So we'll let this integrate. And I do feel like some of that fear lifted. So I think fear of awakening is definitely something worthy of a lot of tapping. And we'll let it integrate and we'll see what's next. This is Erika Awakening. Take care.